Hey YouTube! So, this is the Stella Soviet guitar, Soviet stereo guitar. I'm going to take it to bits and see what it is it's meant to do. Before I do that, I'm actually just going to plug it in and see if it works. If anything works. I'm not really sure. I mean, the action on it is absolutely huge. It's you can get my pinky in below the top string. So we're on, and well, that's quite conclusive. No, it doesn't work. Right. So there's that kind of implies it's probably something to do with the output jack. You would think if there's no sound coming out at all, or something quite major. So I'm just gonna. These tuners go the wrong way as well. How annoying is that? So it'd be Soviet tuners. They're actually on the correct side of the. I've just figured taking these strings off. By the looks of things, I think these strings have been quickly put on and then they don't work. They're very old though. They will not be staying on. I don't even know why am I really taking them off rather than just cutting them off. And I don't know if the tuners are wobbly as heck. They might be. I might be able to bend them so they do work. Oh, we're missing a ferrule in the top. Probably got something that would sort of work. I think this guitar is really just more for if I can make it work. I don't think it needs to be minty condition. I don't think it will ever be minty condition, no matter what I did to it, really. Nah, they're just getting cut off. Where's my thing? This is the other way of doing it. You can just snip the bastards. One of the major problems I've not yet got to is this. Oh! There's something inside moving. I thought it was the truss rod. Is it? I can hear that. I think the truss rod's rattling about. Oh, bits are starting to fall off already. Okay. So, bridge. Oh. You will notice that I can do it. I'll do my clever. I'm really good at using computers thing where I squeeze that. I'll put myself down in the bottom corner. So you can see what I'm looking at. Yep. Alright, so I'll take these off. Just get them out the way. Right, so that was the bridge. I should really have myself a wee box for putting all the things that I take off this. That'll do. It's a Ferrero Rocher box. And I will start taking it to bits to find out what's going on. This is the string mute thing. See here? So you pull it up and it pulls up. You push it down and it stays down. Quite cool. It's an interesting guitar. Various I don't remember what these screws are. They might be original. They kind of look like well, they're actually self-tapping metal screws. But again, that is possible. I get the impression this, like my Softtek amp and stuff like that, was probably made from bits they had. So you might find these screws are actually from a tank, or you know, like a, I don't know, washing machine, or I don't know, anything like that. I wouldn't have called them normal guitar screws. I really don't know what I'm going to find in below here. Be nice if I found a wire off to the output jack, and then I would know why it's not working at all. But I mean, as you see, we've got 4 pickups, 4 switches, which I'm guessing are on-off switches. These, I think, will either be phase or it might knock them into series. This is a switch, and there's 4 volume controls and a tone. I don't know. I'm not even sure I'm going to recognise what's inside this. Will it be, you know, like what I would recognise as guitar parts, or is it just going to be? Are the components going to look completely different? We just don't know. There. That's a flathead screw. Okay, it's not doing anything. Looks like a bolt, right? So is this just going to lift off then? It is. Right. Oh God! Gee, whoa! Wow, is it soft tech looking? Aha. Look at the pots. Mental. And it does actually have a stereo jack on it. So no earth wire, so it would have been buzzy. Like, can I work out by just by looking at this what the hell's going on? I noticed they put all the wires are yellow just to keep it good. What's the actual guitar look like inside? Just a swimming pool route. Looks like that's an interesting form of routing. I mean, who knows what's going on here? Look at the scratch plates, like a sort of tortoiseshell stuff. Has the top been painted? I think the top's been painted enamel white. I think it's meant to have a tortoiseshell thing. Right, so what the hell's going on here? Right, so this switch here, what the hell does that do? I might zoom in a little bit. Not that it's really going to help anybody. This is me just trying to work out what the hell's going on. Where's my pointy? A pointy thing would be handy, I think, for this. That being a kebab skewer. I do like a kebab skewer that still had the point on it for better. Right, so... Oh my God. Right, so that's the earth. We know that, right, so the red on this one's the earth. Because it's going to the common earth, running along there. Not going to that switch. Oh God. What the hell is that? That looks like an earth plate. There's nothing behind that. Right, okay. So there's a copper plate there with the earth wires on it. Okay. Some sort of capacitor here. It's got to be stereo though. Look, it's actually tied up with string. Wow. I think you need a degree to get into this thing. What the hell are we looking at? Basically there's 4 wires coming off this pickup, right? There's 4 wires coming off. These pickups are different. Okay, these are just so the bridge and this one are just braided outside with an internal. There's your hot, and this one's the same. There's your earth, which is metal onto this metal plate, and then the hot is that yellow, goes to there. Okay, right, there's another capacitor in there and a capacitor in there between it and earth. Right, wow. I mean, I think my wiring's complicated. This is next level shit. So obviously this must be an on switch, so that turns that onto this yellow wire here, which goes to this switch, and I'd imagine that's the hot there. So this switches into, it connects this to this, so that must put that in series. Oh no, and this. I don't know where does that wire go? Right, oh that's an output wire. Oh my God, this is confusing. Means wonders if I'm in too deep. I don't want to, I didn't really want to go. I mean, I could probably try and find someone's probably done a circuit diagram, but the problem with just reading circuit diagrams is you just have to try and follow it, and that's it. And if you don't know what any of the things are doing, it becomes really confusing. There's a lot in it. There's quite excessive things, like metal plates and things. I mean, these are, for being cheap, it's cheaper not to have the metal plates. You don't get the metal plates in fenders and stuff like that. What's it there? And then that one. Right, so these are connected via a capacitor to earth, to ground. Fair enough. So it's kind of like having a permanently on tone control. These have got like a filter. And then that. So that right, this one. So this pickup connects to this pickup, when it's on in series, and then the output of this pickup is red and blue. So you're taking two. Jeez. I don't have a clue what's going on in here. This is mental. Two of them going to there and there, and the two of them going to there and there, and Earth. What the fuck does that button do then? Oh. That's got to be... These must be humbuckers. I've only got one set of pole pieces. Why would you want to... Why would you want to connect? Right. Where's my... I'm now sitting here actually, to be honest, thinking I'm not going to be able to do this. When I say not going to be able to, not willing to put the amount of time in required, because I don't want to, you know... If it was a price is no object thing, but I don't want to be spending a week doing this. You know, it's like I've got to charge money for my services, and I don't. So let's see if this pickup works. So bridge pickup 2.6. So it's not 2.8. You can't see that. I'll put that somewhere you can see it. There you go. Right. So we're getting something. So this pickup works at 2.59, which is pretty fucking low for a pickup. This one, $7.6. Is that something to do with this switch being on or off? Right, okay. That switch is on. That's right. Right, okay, right. So the switch is now. This should be giving me that 7K would be more like. Yeah. So there's 7.5K. Fair enough. Right. Okay. And then this one will be the same. 7.6. Right. These two pickups are different. They don't have a shielding on them, so I'm going to go with Earth. In fact, these switches are up. I'll put these two up as well. So these are not on-off switches then. They might be. Right. So if I take the output of that and put it to Earth, I should get... Okay, that's not counting as Earth. Is that counting as Earth? .9. 3.8. If I switch this switch, 8. Nothing. And nothing. I don't think this switch works. I think this... It might be as easy as that. It might be just be this switch is broken. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. I wonder if I should just put it up to a much higher range, because the resistances might not calculate the way. Nothing. Okay, so that's it. Off works. So that's basically putting these to Earth. That seems to work, but when it's on, it should connect that to that. So that should give me nothing. It does. Okay, this switch does work. Right. That doesn't really tell me that much. But okay, so we've got two wires coming off there. We've got red, well, green and white. So if I run that to Earth, Earth, get 3.9. If I run the white one, I get 4.4. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. 0.3, 0.4, 0.3, 0.4. Yeah, so you keep 4K, right? So is that, does that make, what else? So right, and then you get the red, which is to Earth, and the blue, which is to there. So that, right, okay. So what happens if I take Earth to the signal, right? We get 7. So if I hit this switch, that should change. 4. So it might be like a coil tap. It might be a single coil, but it's got like a thing, so it might have a coil tap on it, so you get like a thin sound and a a full power sound and a half power sound. So that might be a coil tap only for these 2 pickups. Have a low output mode. And again, this one is clearly linked to that, to there. That's nothing. No, there, sorry, there. Nothing, and then this one is connected to there. Or is it? Yeah, like that. Okay. Right, and if these are on switches, that should make it that connects to that. Does, right. So these are on switches, and that one is not on, so is on, right. So that's an on switch. Okay, that all makes sense, right. These switches appear to be working. That one, that's it on. That should be a 0. Yeah. Right, so the switches physically work. What they're doing, is anyone's guess. Right, so I'm just trying to work it right. So this wire here, right, so that this one is going to this one. So what it's doing is it's putting what I assume must be the start. So the red, no, the red one and that one and the white one of this one are Earth. Right, okay, yeah. That must be the output, and these must be. This must be your 2 tap wires, so you can either connect the 2 of them together or. What a confusing bastard of a guitar. Really? That wire there's going to these somehow. So there's your tip. Does that come off any of these? Comes straight off that. It comes straight off this one as well. No. But it comes straight off this one. No, it doesn't. Go off this one. No, go off this one. Nope, I definitely got a 0 there somewhere. There. Right, and then. Zero. Is that one switch different from the others? It's not. It should be connected. See, I'm not used to being this confused inside a guitar. It's different components and they've wired it their own way. Which electrically it's probably the same circuit. It's just not done the way I've done any of these. Done anything like this before. It's kind of mental. What's that? Right. I think it's. I'm now deciding what I should do with this. I don't know. It's one of those things that, really, I think the only way you're ever going to get a guitar like this working is if you really, really, really want it to work. Really, really want to work it, and it's a kind of. There's no. Expenses, no. Not an option. You've got to fix it yourself, I think. Right. It's earthed out. There it is in full stereo mode. But we're getting nada from it. Oh, got a pickup. Right. Let's just mess about this and see what's actually going on. I can't fix it, but I might be able to find what's wrong with it. Okay, so what? Yeah, that's working as a volume. That's another volume. Right, so that's the volume for this. That makes sense. This one could be the pot that's gone, We're getting nothing on that one. Right. So we do have a pickup working. What happens if I put it onto the other? It's only working through the main output. That implies that that's an on-off switch for this pickup, so that should be an on-off switch for that one, and that should be an on-off switch for these. Well, the pickups we're all given a reading, so all the pickups should technically work. These are not the right knobs. 100% sure of that, because they're D shafts, and these are not D shaft knobs. So why? Got a date, 1989. That pickup. I wonder if these are replacements. I wonder why they're melted on the back like that. 1989. When was the Berlin Wall was that? That was, when was that? That 91 or something. So this is still at the Soviet. Is this actually Soviet era? I mean, this is what people say when they try and look inside my guitars. It's like, apart from it makes pure sense to me, this doesn't. Some things sort of do. I mean, those are just pots. running two of them to get. I mean, the pots must be the same. You would think. Why they get the? How would you have the two lugs connected together? How does that work? That implies that would be the earth, but then why would you have an earth with the point on it unless it's just a tone control? Why does it get two coming off there? And what these can't be phase switches because they're not phase, none of these are phase switches. These phase switches need to change the direction of it, so they can't be that. They're all just on off ons, or on ons. So it could be. They can't even be series and parallel, can they? Because you've got to disconnect from one to connect to the other. All right, okay, no, okay, yeah, maybe they can be. Yeah, they can be. They must be series and parallel. Otherwise, there are only two on that. You are seeing how mental this is, yeah. It's like every single wire's yellow as well, just for colour coordination. Yeah, colour coordination, yellow wire. And why are these pickups different from these ones? These ones have got stickers on them. Are these replacements? And they've got the braided wire on them, whereas these have got 4 wires in them. For doing something else. And again, it's stereo. So that's just there for you. Is it? So you get that one there. I'm not totally done yet, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Give me 500 quid, I'll definitely make it work, but I don't know what these guitars are worth. It's kind of those ones you wonder if you better just sell it to a collector. Right, okay, so that there. Let's check that that's actually going exactly where it should be going. I think it looks like that wire there goes to there. Is that right? I'm just checking to see where the wire goes. Yeah, so that goes to there. So that's hot. Yeah, so that's the stereo, if you like. This is the main output. So the stereo one goes to this pot here. And then that wire there. Jesus. Goes to there. Is that right? That to that? Yep, okay. That would make sense that this is a master volume which turns down both sides of the stereo thing to that pot, right? So this pot somehow does something. Where does the main output? The main output this one go to? There, yeah. So that's the main output. Okay, right. So like the right. So that goes to there, and then that one. To there, that to that. It does, right, okay. And then that there is that one. That goes to there. Okay. So that would be switch. Where does that other wire go? What's this one do? I'm just eliminating things here. I'm just doing this for fun, really. Where does that wire there go? It's that one. So that is that. Okay. If I switch that, then that goes to there and there. Right. Okay. Does that make that switch to there? does. So this should be connected to both the left out and the right out. Yes. So this switch here, you don't see what I'm doing. This switch here is a stereo mono switch. Yeah. That makes it mono. Or a mono switch. It is stereo. So that's basically just linking the two of them together for one output. So when that, it should only, really I should just be looking at, maybe I'm a bit, maybe if I zoom out a little bit actually. Alright, so that's a stereo. So currently it's in mono mode with this switch. So now I know it's in mono mode. I know that tapping this, which was on, which isn't on now, which is good. That's good out of there. Oh, and now we're getting nothing. That's the volume, and that was the volume for it, wasn't it? I mean, this whole thing could be just intermittent switches, do you know what I mean? It's like, the temptation would be, it's like, ridiculous as it sounds, I'm actually going to get the contact cleaner on this and see, this has not been touched. I'm pretty sure this is all original wiring, so what we're looking at is the reason it doesn't work is faulty components. Just this will not do any harm anyway. I'm assuming it's going to penetrate inside here somewhere. They actually seem to be clicking more positively now. I mean, this would be, if this does in any way repair it, that's complete fluke. It's just dirt. Not saying that it's not likely that is what's wrong, but it could very well be just that. And then I could start, I suppose, looking through it and maybe finding if there's a component that's broken. I could maybe just replace that component with like for like and then see what we end up with. Like, what are the chances of this actually doing something now that I've cleaned it? It's possible. We'll get something somewhere. We did have this pickup making a noise earlier. It's back on. Mono mode. Right. Very intermittent-y, isn't it? So that doesn't seem to. If you're all down, you get nothing. Right. I mean, this is half an hour just arsing about with this. It's like, it doesn't make no sense. But ultimately, the rest of the time, I'm getting nothing out of any of the other pickups. Apart from that one. Oh, it's actually stereo. Right. Okay, that's cool. So these pickups, I was saying, there's two sides to it. It's actually these three coils. No, it's not. Right, okay. So that, I was saying it was a coil split, that's a stereo mono switch, that one. And if I turn it on, I don't get these ones. I only get those ones. Yeah. So I don't think I can route. That was the one that I said joined the two of them together. I made it mono, wasn't it? Okay, right. That one's that on. So we've got these three working in mono, and if you switch to these two pickups are working. Imagine if I turned the volume down on all of them now. These knobs are really annoying because they just spin, so you can't tell whether it's up at full whack or not. Right, they're all up at full. Right. So we have that. That appears to be some sort of on-off switch. That should turn this on, which it doesn't. Which makes sense if these would be on-off switches. So this one, that'll turn it off. It does, yeah. Right, so this should turn that one on. Is it working mono? Right, so it's... Okay. I'm saying okay, but I don't know what the hell that means. So the stereo does make much more sense to me now. I was thinking, you can stick these two pickups through one amp and these two to the other, but no, it actually splits. These two actually split in half, so you can get these three coils. These three, so it must be two coils, like so, inside the cover. That's why it's different. These are just normal pickups, but these ones must be, that must be a coil, and that must be a coil, and the two of them, you can run them together. But mono. Right. Still getting nothing on these ones. But so that's on, down is on, up is off. I think that's putting these two in series. Why do you want it in series? That's on. That one's on. That one should be on, but it's not. That one should be off. It is. That one should be on. That one should be on. Oh, let's find it out. So I think that's master volume. That sounds like a tone, doesn't it? We've got volume and tone. There's a tone for that one as well. Wow, this is nuts. Whatever this paint is actually reacting with my fingers. I'm leaving fingerprints on this paint. So even though I reckon it was probably painted decades ago, it's reacting. So I reckon that these switches actually working. Right, go to there to there. That's the switch is working. I saw a wee bit of light at the end of the tunnel there, thinking it was making sense. Yeah, so these two are stereo. These are two coils. A coil like 1, 2. One of them's even then, how are they joined together? Because that's the start of one coil, right? Okay. I think you can't use both sides of the pickup at the same time. So looking at it, you can't. I was thinking, you could send these 3 poles to left and these 3 poles to right. No, you can either have this pickup's either on or those are removed. So it can only do these 2. So I'd imagine this pickup is probably the other way around. If it was working, you can get all the coils, or in stereo mode it only gives you these 3. So there's your stereo, left and right, or right and left, whatever way round you want to do it. But that's not working. That one's working. These 2 pickups are working. All the pickups should be working because they're all giving out. I think they're all giving out signals. Now I kind of know what's going on a little bit. A very little bit. You get earth. And then, so that's why these were both running out the same. So that should be the same. That's nothing. That's good. It's earth. Okay, right. So, aye. Right, earth to there. That was it in mono mode. So that should be one coil at 2.94, and this will be the other coil at 2.94, as in this coil and this coil. And this one the same. That's the output. Turns it on. That there. The output of that goes to the bridge pickup and then out. Why does it do that? Where does that go? Does that go straight to the volume control? That'd be handy, doesn't it? It does. Right. And then so should that one. Madness, I tell thee. Madness. Right, I'm going to have to spend a bit of time on this. I don't even want to try and make the actual physical guitar work until I understand what the pickups are doing. But it is doing something. I think that contact clear has actually reacted with whatever paint that was. I wonder if it's Soviet paint. Maybe that's or something like that. Is that even? Is that actually wet, or does it just look wet? It just looks wet. It's not actually wet, right? Alright, so sorry, I've already talked. This has already been on for 45 minutes, and I can't do anything with it. I just see my problem is it's taken me 45 minutes and I'm nowhere. Well, I'm kind of starting, but I mean, I can't. How can I charge money? You know, I should be, I've got to charge an hourly rate, and it's like it's already costing money. It'd be different if it was a guitar that I think he really, really, really wanted to work. I'm not sure that's the case. So, it's really difficult, isn't it? You probably try to find things that work. I mean, that's the thing that makes it dual mono, right? What the hell does that do? That's you joining. What the hell are we looking at here? Right, that. What's that? That is. That. No, I think this has to be. It has to be an enthusiast to do this. It's monetarily not worth doing. If you're going to pay someone to fix it, you have to really want this guitar and be willing to spend hours and hours and hours working out what's going on. The fundamentals are there. This pot works. The tone pot works. The output jack's okay. The switches all work. It's how they're connected up. I wonder if this did work. I wonder if someone's been in here and messed about with it, or is something just could be just shorting somewhere. But it's just not making any sense to me. These are not the. When I said the wires are original, the wiring looms are original, but the solder connections don't look original. So it's like, yes, these wires were always here, but they weren't necessarily going where they're going. Look a wee bit blobby actually. I think I'm gonna have to admit defeat to it. Really, the thing is, some enthusiast will totally love this because it's practically complete. It's nearly all there. It's got the original tuners. It's got a 0 fret. I still think the truss rods are rattling. So even with this working, I'm not even sure that I could physically make the actual guitar play acoustically. Never mind. I wish I hadn't cut those strings now, because now what's going to happen is this bridge is going to fall off. At least when there was one string, I wonder if there's a string I've just taken off something just to hold the bridge on so it doesn't get lost. But I think game's a bogey with it. Again, if I'd bought this in the Barras for 20 quid or something like that, I would don't mind spending days and days and days and days getting it to work. But that's what it's going to be. It's an incredible amount of time required. And if I'm doing it for somebody else, I've got to charge an hourly rate, and the hourly rate's going to be more than what the guitar's worth in a day easily. I mean, I don't think it's mental, but I mean, it's not £1,000 guitar. Do you know what I mean? Ever, unless it's purely for collection. And if it's purely for collection, you can hang it on the wall and it does that thing. But so it's interesting. So it is actually proper stereo when it works. These pickups aren't, but these two pickups both split down, so you can set this so that these three go to one output and these three go to the other. This switch here puts both things to the same output. That kind of joins the two sides of the stereo spectrum together there. This effectively coil splits this, but what you're doing is you're splitting off this coil and this one, which will do the other way. I'm thinking these are on-off switches that turn on each pickup, but currently it's only this pickup and this pickup that actually turn on. These two don't for some reason. This is a master volume. This is a master tone. This is something to do with this pickup. Yeah. So, what was it? It was a different video. It was different. I was doing my live stream last night, so I don't actually have any other videos to go out. So this one will have to go, but just goes to show that, you know, even when you're an absolute wiring genius like myself, I can be defeated by something like this. It's not. I'm not defeated. I'm just not willing to do it with someone else's guitar when it's going to, you know, it's going to take hours and hours and hours, and we end up having to charge them hundreds of pounds when I don't think the guitar's probably worth hundreds of pounds to him. It's one of those ones, well, you know, it's not like a car. It's like, what's your car worth if it doesn't work? It's worth nothing. It's only worth something if it does work. This is kind of like, it doesn't work, but I mean, even if I could get it working on the two sides, it needs major setup, or major, not so much setup as actually adjusting shit. And the neck's having to come off and get shimmed. It's basically having to get rebuilt. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just accept defeat on it, and it's not for me. It's possible that somebody who knows about these guitars might be able to do something with it. Well, I'm sure they will, and I'm sure, or if someone's just an enthusiast doing it as a hobby, they don't mind spending, you know, every evening for a couple of weeks finding it out and doing internet research to find out what other people have said and what has failed. But ultimately, I could build, if the guy really wants a stereo guitar, I could build him a stereo guitar for less than fixing this one, and it would be a good guitar. You know, just do it with a Strat or something like that. I've done that before. Nobody wanted the stereo guitar I built, so I never built another one. It worked really well for me, though. I thought it was great. It was I can't remember, it was a Telecaster, actually. I can't remember, but I put two Strat pickups in it, one kind of covering the top three strings and one covering the other two strings. I think there was a humbucker on the bridge, so two single coils. Kind of actually the similar sort of idea what this is, where the two bridge pickups are both just normal pickups. The only stereo aspect you got was the two neck pickups. One was left and one was right. I don't know. I'm disappointed with that. I'm going to use a bit of tape and just tape that to the top of the guitar so it doesn't get lost. But yeah. I think I just can't. I can't justify to myself the amount of money I would have to charge to make it work. Maybe again, I'm having to learn how to do this. So maybe if you knew what you were doing, you know, it's like you can't expect it. You can't pay somebody to wire your guitar, wire your Strat, and it's like, oh yeah, but it took me 2 hours to work out how a Strat's wired, and it's like, it would take me, you know, half an hour to wire the Strat without having to learn how to wire it. This one I'm having to learn how to do stuff, and yeah, it's all games of bogey. I wonder who could. I don't even have any knowledge. I think the way to do it is maybe to go onto Facebook and find there must be a Facebook fan club page for these guitars somewhere, and ask on there what there is to be done. But that Ratley truss rod, it's always going to be a Ratley. Let's have a wee look at it in below there anyway and see what it is we're actually looking at. While I'm in here, give it the full Buna. I mean, I'm not even sure what I'm going to find in below the truss rod plate. Is it going to be like a normal looking truss rod, or is it going to be something pure mental? Well, it's flathead screws with my screwdriver's not quite fitting because they look handmade screws, to be honest. I can get that. I mean, I'm kind of expecting to see. I don't know what a Soviet bolt looks like, but that's what I'm expecting. It does have a truss rod. Which doesn't appear to be moving. It kind of looks alright, actually. Ew. I don't even know what to do. It looks like there's clay. Is that a dead thing in there? I think there's a dead caterpillar in there. But was it just the tuners that were rattling? It might have just been the tuners that were rattling. Aye, okay, it was just the tuners because they're crap. Yeah, so that's okay. To be honest, the neck is perfectly straight. Well, not perfectly straight. The neck, the actual the relief in the neck's not that is actually pretty good. It's kind of you tweak it, but not to the point of where we are just now, where it's just trying to make it work. And I've completely lost that screwdriver that I had just 1 second ago. Damn it! Really disappointing. Failing. I don't like to fail, but I think the bigger fail would be to be. You know, I can't charge any money for this, even though it is an hour of work. It's not. There's not enough. It's too alien to me. It needs to be It's got to be a specialist, I think. And again, how far do you go with what it's worth? And it's like, you know, you wonder if you find somebody who refurbs them. Maybe somebody in Reverb or something refurbs these, and will give you a good trade-in value for this. Maybe give you, if they're selling it for like 500 quid, they might give you 100 for this one or something as a trade-in, and then they'll be able to make it work. I mean, it's totally cool, but no, the tuners are terrible. Look at them. Look at how much they move. Oh, you can't see because of you can look at. I mean that's pretty much miles away from being the actual tuner's moving. Not that one. And then there's this crazy neck thing. I can just see, you can just see this in the corner, which is these are other problems I would get to, but I think it's going to have to be. I'm sorry, Alan, I've failed with your guitar. I have cut the old strings off, but I mean they were ancient anyway. But I think I've got a feeling this is the sort of guitar it's been bought and sold. The last few owners of this have probably never had it working, and it was more of a, oh, look at that, isn't it cool? And it's, if you hang it on the wall, it does look cool, but the concept of making it work. I mean, I could nab those pickups. I mean, it's no longer going to be the Soviet guitar, but I mean, I could make a stereo guitar using these pickups, but it would have to be new switches, and it would have to be in an order that made sense. I've got quite a feeling quite a lot of the circuitry in it's quite redundant as well. It's like when you've got too many earth wires. I think there's a bit of that in this. I'm not sure the actual concept is 100% thought through. I think there's stuff in here that doesn't need to be in here. That, it would still work without it, but because it's there, it's kind of messing things up. So anyway, there we go. Happy Monday, and I failed with a guitar. Rock on. Oh, stop recording.